It's happened to me for years now. Someone tells a radio station or a newspaper I've been killed or suffered an accident. Sergio Vega gave an interview to the Mexican entertainment website La Oreja on June 26, 2010. Just a few hours after denying his own death, the musician known as El Shaka was the victim of a targeted cartel assassination. Vega's story begins in Los Hornos, Sonora, Mexico, during the year of 1969. He was born on September 12th as the 8th child of 13 brothers and sisters, to parents Fernando and Delfina. Los Hornos is an incredibly small farming community with a recorded population of only 726 in 2010. The traditions of rural Sonora seem to be heavily entrenched with regional music, and the Vega's upbringing was no different. It also coincided with a time in the 1970s when onda grupera was emerging as a commercial success. Although the family immigrated to Phoenix, Arizona in 1988, they retained their passion for playing regional Mexican music together, with Sergio typically providing the lead vocals. By 1989, Sergio, alongside 4 of his brothers, formed a musical group, Los Hermanos Vega. Their style pulled from a traditional norteño sound, with the song content mainly focused on love songs and ballads like Corazón de Oropel, or Tinsel Heart. The brothers' talent would attract the San Antonio, Texas-based record label Joey Records, where they were able to experience moderate success. Despite the label's headquarters in Texas, the group was primarily only known south of the border in their home country. Although the group had the occasional corrido, they appear to be balancing their image between rural Sonoran ranchers and the emerging trend in the early 1990s of chronicling the flourishing Mexican drug trade. It has not been confirmed, but it is believed that this divide started to wedge a distance between Sergio and his brothers. By 1994, there's reports of Sergio exhibiting strange behavior, like refusing to leave his house for days and only opting to wear pajamas when he did leave. Sergio would reveal later in life that he often struggled with drug addiction, and the bizarre behavior described here certainly seems reminiscent of the way a heavy cocaine user would act. During that same year, Sergio decided to relocate back to Mexico and begin performing under the name Los Reyes del Norte. Under this new name, he began to fully embrace the Narcocorrido musical style, likely hoping to capitalize on the whirlwind wake left behind by the death of Chileno Sanchez earlier that year. Like many artists within his genre, Sergio had a noted reputation with the ladies, and by his own claim, he had fathered no fewer than 17 children. Despite this claim, his namesake, Sergio Vega Jr., has recently started recording and performing music as of 2018, and has continued to carry his father's legacy. By 1997, Sergio had decided to change his name once again for publicity reasons, settling finally on Sergio Vega y sus Shakas del Norte. The name was inspired by Zulu king Shaka, known both for his formidable military innovations and ruthless leadership. If any of Shaka's army showed hesitation in battle, he would execute them himself. If Shaka's army was ever defeated in battle, his soldiers knew that the fate of death was awaiting their families when they got home. Sergio hoped to inspire that same respect as the Shaka of the North. During this period, Sergio was suspected of having a connection to the Sonora cartel, and his dedication to corridos and chronicling the Mexican underworld seemed to underline his connection. By Sergio's own admission, his drug and alcohol abuse had become so rampant by 2001, he decided to retire from music completely. His time in retirement would be interrupted by tragedy when his brother Ramon Vega passed away in a car accident on October 17, 2004, at the age of 43. Whether it was the loss of his brother that inspired him to return or something different altogether, he made a comeback in late 2004 with the release Me Gusta Estar Contigo, now using a traditional Sinaloan band as his backing. Sergio's resurgence coincided with the massive wave of support for regional Mexican music, and specifically the Narcocorrido. Vega even performed alongside the likes of Valentin Elizalde and Sergio Gomez, who both would eventually meet their own tragic fate in 2007. In fact, Sergio El Shaka Vega decided to strengthen his security measures following the incidents, and with good reason. Before his eventual death in 2010, 14 Narcocorrido singers were executed under suspicious circumstances. Far too many artists have learned the dangerous pitfalls that come along with a genre before it's too late, and that declaring an allegiance can sometimes provide just as much danger as protection. Following the death of singer Carlos Ocarranza in August 2009, Vega was interviewed and asked if he considered himself at risk. His response was as follows: "Cover dangerous subjects, and it can be scary, but you have to put your hope in God." Early 2010 saw the Mexican government take a major stance against narcocorrido music, hoping to put a warning label on the products, similar to the warnings provided on alcohol and tobacco sales. Whether it was the outside pressure of the government or the fear of impending danger, Vega transitioned during this period to returning to his roots of writing and performing ballads and love songs. By June 2010, rumors surfaced online that Vega had been a victim of a cartel assassination. So much confidence was given to the possibility that Sergio himself called into the newspaper La Aurea to confirm he was still alive, and to ease his worried mother with heart problems. Although never confirmed, further claims emerged as recently as 2020 that Vega was closely affiliated with Hector Bertrand Leva, and the two actually shared a homosexual relationship. These statements were provided to authorities after Ismael Coronel Socarros, his financial operator, was apprehended in September 2020. Part of those same whispers mentioned that Hector became enraged at Sergio for allegedly playing a concert for an opposing narco boss. He decided to commission hitman Reyes Castro to conduct the hit outside Angostura, Sinaloa. On June 26, 2010, 40-year-old Sergio El Shaka Vega was traveling down the Mexico-Nogales International Highway in his red Cadillac CTS when he noticed a car behind that appeared to be tailing him. Sergio's agent at the time, Ana Luisa Gomez, claims that he called her at this moment and knew something was terribly wrong. He told her to warn the federal police and that he was in serious danger. The conversation was interrupted by the sounds of gunfire, and Vega claiming he is not going to make it. While in a high-speed pursuit on the highway, he lost control of the vehicle after approximately 15 minutes of chase and veered off the road into a pole. In total, Sergio was reportedly struck by 30 rounds of automatic gunfire, fatally wounding him immediately. His passenger, Sergio Montiel, was critically injured in the ordeal, but miraculously survived, and was able to provide a witness account. While the passenger was not sure of the identities of the attackers, he knew one thing for certain: they were members of a specific cartel whose name would be eventually omitted from the police reports. Vega's paranoia had proved correct, as he would be assassinated the exact same day as refuting a rumor of his own passing. It is possible that Sergio thought his connections had afforded him protection, which is why he traveled without a security escort. Vega was also apparently traveling in his trademark look of pajamas, appearing to stress his level of comfort in the area even further. Despite the unique aspects of Vega's story, it seems to fall in suit with the typical fate of a narcocorrido artist. Fame, power, and jealousy.